we would like to welcome everyone back to another episode of the Corey Freeman Podcast. I am your host, Corey Freeman. I hope that everyone is having a great and fantastic day. I hope that whatever it is you're doing, you're giving it all that you got. Here at the Corey Freeman Podcast, we have a motto, and our motto is we back at it again. We are thankful to God to be still in the land of the living. We're thankful to be standing on top of the pavement and not under the pavement. And I truly believe that if we are alive, then that means God has work for us to do. So again, let us get to work. So we have a familiar face back with us again. We have a familiar guest. We have a contributor to the Corey Freeman Podcast. Although he has not been on the podcast in a while, we said it was time to get him back on the show again. So we have with us the Brandon Kyle Neville, a.k.a. Babz. What's going on?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm thankful. I appreciate you having me back. It's a privilege, an honor, and a pleasure once again to be back. And I'm eager and ready to get the conversation started.
All right, now.
How you been?
Man, it's all good. That's all I can say. It's all good. Through the trials, through the tribulations, through the setbacks, through circumstances, through situations, it's still all good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends, my brothers and sisters, we are not going to waste time. We're going to jump right into it. This episode is entitled Winning the Right Way. Winning the right way. And friends, there is a right way of doing things, and there's also a wrong way of doing things. Likewise, there is a right way to win. There is a wrong way to win. But when you think about it, it all comes down to how you see things. And what we need to understand is that losing is not always absent while winning. I'm going to tell you that again. I said losing is not always absent while winning. And our greatest glory is never failing, but rising each time we fall. We have to learn to have a good chin. What does that mean? That means a boxer, ones that can take a punch. You have to be able to take a punch. So winning doesn't always mean being first. That's something else I'm going to tell you again. Winning does not mean you're always first, but it's more about never giving up. It's more about finishing what you started. And you see, winning doesn't always look the same way, or just because you won a different way, it doesn't mean you are losing. So Brandon, explain to us the misconceptions of what winning really looks like.
Okay. Everything that glitters, it ain't gold. You know, in my opinion, the misconception is people can paint a pretty picture and it can fool the masses. But that's just a picture that they painted for people so they can portray an image. But the thing about it, to me, you haven't won until the people around you is winning also. I mean, how could you be the only one, reaching any level of any kind of success, and you surround yourself around people that you can't drop the rope for and pull up because you want to seem like you're the only one on the island, and and have people lifting you up or making you feel good about yourself, and you hadn't dropped the rope and pull the people up around you. So in my opinion, that's what winning look like when you everybody that's surrounded by you, everybody is all on the path of fulfilling their purpose. Because outside of that, why would you be surrounding yourself around people that's into foolishness or anything else that ain't living up to their purpose, and you are? It's look like something wrong with that picture. So everything that glitters is not gold.
So why do you think we have to always try to portray an image and not really just be ourselves? Why is it that we more concerned about proving a point to everybody else rather than proving a point to the person in the mirror?
Well, sometimes that stems from something in the subconscious, whether it be coming up a certain kind of way and feeling like, you know, whenever you come up, you didn't have, you know, you don't come from a family that had a whole lot, or you didn't have you didn't have the nicest, shoes, or, clothes, or, inner circle, or whatever it may be. So a lot of time people still scarred from youth, and that
Yeah.
youth that they scar with, it'll push them to push out that image. Like, look at me now. Like, I'm proving y'all wrong. That, with however y'all seen me, I'm gonna make you see me in a different light now. So a lot of time people do it and don't even know they're doing it because it's in the subconscious. They still hadn't healed from a lot of wounds that they faced 20, 30 years ago, and still a lot of mistakes that they made, and a lot of things that people judge them for. They want to show that, hey, look at me now, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of time people don't even know they're doing it. It's in the subconscious. They still trying to get their lick back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That make a lot of sense because I think I think all of us can say that we struggle with that. If we're gonna just be transparent and tell the truth. All of us can say that we struggle with trying to prove people wrong, or we try to recreate our image. And I've learned that people have formulated an opinion about you. It doesn't matter what you do. 9 times out of 10, they probably still gonna have that opinion. Or they waiting. Right. They're waiting for you to fall down so they can say, "Oh, I told you he ain't never changed. I told you he was still the same." So that's why I say it's more important to prove it to the person in the mirror, because at the end of the day, that's the person you got to live with every day. Nobody get up with you. Nobody go to bed with you. Not talking about your family or nothing. I'm just speaking like in general. The people that's judging us or judging, and we speaking in general, the people that judge you and I, they don't know what you had to deal with. They don't know what you dealt with. They don't know what you overcame. They don't know what you still overcoming. So to say that we trying to prove a point to them is foolish, because they gonna believe what they want to believe anyway, even if they had facts to support the claim that you had changed. Because think about how many times people have been on camera. You caught them on camera, but they still tried to lie. So just because people have the truth doesn't mean they're gonna accept it.
That's
so
true.
This brings me to our third question. There's a quote that says, "Failure is not an option," but I think that quote is not accurate. So help us to understand that failure doesn't make me a failure.
Okay. People have different paths in life. So some people are going to go through life with minimal bumps in the road. Some people are going to go through life and take the rugged road. They have, for every different audience of people out here in the world, they're going to have some people that's going to fly straight and narrow, and they're going to do the right thing for the most part, a lot of the right things, and they're going to get a lot of the, the right outcome based upon that. And then they're gonna have people like myself, who took another path, and the road was rough, and I failed, and I got knocked down. But they got more people like me that got knocked down, that done failed. So people that done got knocked down, people that done failed, people that is down right now, they need to see people like me and other people like you, and people like a bunch of people that fell down and got knocked down and got back up and won. So they need to see that people, that went through the same struggles as them, and faced a lot of the same adversities. If they can do it, I can do it too. Who better to talk to people that failed than the people that have been knocked down already and got back up? So in my opinion, it's more people that failed or failing or that's down right now than people that done, flew the straight narrow way, pretty much their whole life for the most part, So everybody got a story to tell that can reach every different type of person. And to me, if you never went through nothing, how you gonna try to tell somebody something that's that's going through different things, that got a fight on their hand, that somebody that done made all the right decisions in life for the most part, can tell them, that can get them out of that. They'll be more subjected to hear it coming from somebody that actually done went through some stuff, because maybe it take that kind of person to reach that. What I'm saying.
Yes, sir. I just seen a quote that said, "Don't take constructive criticism from a person who has never constructed anything." And that kind of stuck with me, because I was like, yeah, that's absolutely correct. So, I want to know, when we talk about falling down, how do you get up?
Okay, the first thing you got to do is accept the situation. However you got been through it, you acknowledge it, you accept it, and once you accept it and took accountability, that's where the change starts. That's the first step, taking accountability for your actions. And once you then took accountability for your action, it's time to get something done. We instead of coming up with the problems, or this happened in life, that happened in life. Okay, well, you done identified all the problems. It's time to come with the solutions. And once you done came with the solution, now you gotta move on it. You can't just talk about it. You gotta move on it. You got to move on it. Well, you know it can change your situation. All I have to do is this and this, and it's time to start. Let's get it done, because it ain't gonna get done until you move forward. But your first step is, once you done acknowledged the problem and accepted it, and took accountability, because that's the first step, accountability. Once you done took accountability, you can move forward. You can move forward. Now you've identified the problem. Now it's time to come with the solution. Once you got the solution, put your plan in motion. Put your plan in motion and go with it. In my opinion, that's how you get started.
Exactly. And also realizing again that once you begin the process of putting your life back together, you're still gonna fail. But that doesn't mean you're not winning. You're still gonna make mistakes. Let's say it like this. We can't be so down on ourselves when we make a mistake, if you look at it in the right way. What we said earlier, I said it comes down to how you see things. So if you look at a mistake as an opportunity to grow, then a mistake is a learning lesson. A mistake is a learning curve. So even when you fell down, it's best you learn from falling. And sometimes when you learn from falling, you don't have to fall anymore. You can catch yourself before you fall. You can brace yourself before the fall, and the fall won't be as bad as it was the last time. Why? Because I'm learning from my mistakes. So
it's true.
Exactly what you just said is good stuff. So also, we have another question, and this question is, I heard somebody say that you shouldn't want a person that's the finished product. If you're a finished product, then that means you can't progress. Then there's no room for growth. So can you elaborate on us on still being under construction? And all of us should still be under construction.
Yes, sir. We battle tested every day. Every day we battle tested. You're gonna be battle tested before you walk out your house. You're gonna be battle tested when you walk out your house. When you're in the store, when you're at work, you're on the job. You're gonna be battle tested every day. Every day is work to be done. Every day you have room for improvement. Things that may have triggered you, yesterday, you can work on that. Handling the situation a little bit better the next day, because every day is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a fight for something, and the work ain't never done. As long as they got people who out here struggling to work, it's never done. It's never done. As long as we still alive, there's still going to be people who out here that's struggling, and so the work is never done. We still under construction. If you feel like you know everything, you can't grow. You can't get no further in life. And actually somebody like that, even like, I'm gonna just use it for example on the job. If you feel like you know everything on the job, that's when people get hurt. When you can't listen to other people that may have a better idea of how to do something, or let's get together and talk about it. You may see things one way, somebody else may see things another way. That don't mean he wrong. That don't mean you wrong. It might be just be a better way to get the job done, or a better way to get the to, like I said, you got people that went the straight and narrow, and you got people that went down the rugged road. It's gonna take different conversations and different things that people done went through in life to reach different people. So that don't mean that that person is wrong. It just mean that this person can better assist this person. So there's always work to be done. We always under construction. As long as you got people that's out here that's that's struggling, that's going through stuff, we still got a job to do to reach people.
Yes, indeed. And as we all know, a lot of roads they've paved the road and they put a new top on the road, but eventually they had to go back and do it again. So I want to say that again for the audience to hear what I said. There's roads that were bad. They fixed the road, but then the road got bad again. So in other words, and on this journey called life, things are going to happen. And so you constantly have to be under construction. And sometimes they put patches in the road and the Department of Transportation, they come and they fill all the holes in the road, but eventually those holes, they don't, you can't fill them anymore, and you got to fix the road again. That's how we are. That's how we should be. That, yeah, I learned some things. I overcame some things, but for the next challenges in my life, I'm going to have to learn some more things. I'm going to have to build better character. I'm going to have to do other things to continuously grow and reach other levels, reach other heights. So we're going to constantly be under construction. Don't be down because you got to keep constructing yourself over and over again. That just means that to reach another level, you gotta do some different things. What's the saying that says, if you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing. But if you want to get more, if you want to grow, to get higher, that's what we should be trying to do. We should be trying to level up. And as again, we're going to talk about it. We ain't talking about no foolishness. We're talking about leveling up for the right thing, doing the right thing, having our life be a mirror for other people to see, us being an image for someone else to see, to let them know that they can do it too. I'm going to say this because I'm not ashamed of where I came from. There's a notion that once you become a convicted felon, you cannot get a job. I want to let you know that I didn't get a job until I was a convicted felon. So, Brandon, you can speak to this too. I just want you to elaborate just a little bit on what I just said.
Yeah. Delayed does not mean denied. In life, people go through things, people have different journeys, and just because you may feel like you're in a hopeless situation or a situation that you can't win, or you never seen many people that went through quite a situation like yourself and made it out in a way that they could still be, prosperous in life. But just because you may have never seen it, that don't mean you can't be the example. That don't mean you can't be the person to do it, to show other people that this can be done. Maybe that's why you never seen it, because it's still waiting for you to walk through them doors. So regardless of whatever you done been through in life, what obstacles you done faced in life, that don't mean that you can't still be the best father, the best husband, the best just personality. Because a lot of times you're gonna go through stuff that'll change you. You may have came up hardened in your heart for some things that you done been through, and as soon as you release that, you'll be the best person that people ever want to be around, regardless of your record or what you've been through or none of that, because that don't define the type of person you are. Just because you made a mistake, all that means is you got caught, for the mistake. That don't mean that's who you are. Yeah, okay, I may be a felon, but that don't define me. That don't mean that put limitation on my life. Or you got a criminal record, you ain't gonna be able to really have the type of career you want or make the type of moves you want in life because you got that record. Don't let nobody put no cap on you or put no ceiling on you or define who you supposed to be in life. That decision is for you and you alone to make. So you don't let people, tell you who you can be or what you can be or what you can do based upon the mistakes that you made. That don't define you, and it ain't over.
It ain't over. It ain't over. And I want to say to the people, just remember that a testimony only comes from a test. You cannot have a testimony if you have never been tested. So don't resist the test. The test is important. Don't resist the mountain.
Mhm.
The mountain is important. Don't resist the obstacle. The obstacle is important. If you don't have any of the things that I just mentioned, then how can you know what you're capable of doing? I said this in church the other Sunday. If Pharaoh's army had never been chasing the children of Israel, they would have never known that God could have parted the Red Sea. So you got to have some type of trouble going on in order to overcome it. You cannot be an overcomer without an obstacle. You cannot be an overcomer without something to overcome. So, friends, I just want to encourage you and tell you that no matter where you've been, it can't stop where you're going. So I'm telling you, like Brandon just said, before anything was ever accomplished, it had never been done. So they always had to be the first person that did something. So maybe it's up to you to be the first person to do something that has never been done. As we said it, I'm going to say it one more time. I said it comes down to how you see things. If you see it from a defeated standpoint, you'll be defeated. But if you see it from a point of victory, which every believer should be fighting from, a point of victory, then you will always obtain victory, because victory has already been given to us. I want to challenge you to be careful of who you hang with. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful what you put in your system. Be careful what you think about. Be careful what you talk about. You understand what I'm saying? Be careful. Monitor what you're doing. Monitor what you let get into your soul. Monitor the people you let come into your circle. Pray for your circle. Why you pray for your circle? Because I want to make sure I'm around people that we all can grow from one another. And if you're not growing in your circle, you need to find a different circle. So, Brandon, we're gonna give you the final words before we shut it down.
Yes, sir. Don't give up, regardless of what you've been through. You know, stay the course. As long as you're still breathing, you're gonna have a fight on your hands. You just got to be up for the challenge. Don't let the fight knock you out. You know, it might knock you down, but you just make sure you get back up and keep fighting. Long as we here, we got work to do. We got a fight on our hand, and we got a job to do. So don't get discouraged. Sometimes the fight may get harder to some days than it was other days, but as long as you still waking up and you still living, guess what? You got 100% success rate from overcoming any kind of obstacle you ever faced in your life. Just remember that 100% success rate. So you can do it, and you're gonna do it.
And that's that. And even if you get knocked out, remember there's always a rematch.
That's right.
Even if they knock you out, remember there's always a rematch. So, friends, like Brandon said, don't give up. Winning the right way. It only means you ain't got to finish first. You ain't got to be second. Just don't ever give up. So, friends, the Corey Freeman Podcast is powered by StreamYard. The Corey Freeman Podcast will be available on YouTube. It will be available on YouTube Music. It will be available on Podcast Addict. You can also find it on Spotify and Spotify for podcasters. If you want to get in touch with Corey Freeman, my email address is freenation86@gmail.com. And as we stated on the last episode, that if you go on Spotify, you can leave comments. You can ask questions. You can chime in. Nobody really chimes in and says anything. And if you got problems and you want us to talk about some things, that would be the area for you to do it. Even on YouTube, you can leave a comment at the bottom whenever you go on YouTube. So, friends, this was Corey Freeman and Brandon Neville, and we signing off.